I think it's better to work in a team. I think it's better to work in a team than like two people just working separately. Oh my God, I'm struggling, like struggling on their own. I think it's better to struggle a little bit together and then grow into something bigger.
Yeah.
Like build.
If you find the right person.
If you find the right person. If
it's a big if.
But also about all the bunch of fish in the ocean. I think we gotta respect our choice. So you see, there are so many options out there.
Once you make that choice. 100%.
You gotta respect your choice.
I agree.
100%.
Just respect yourself, respect your choice. If you don't respect your choice, you don't respect yourself.
Yeah, because one of the best quotes out there is, what is it? Gosh, I never remember the quote. I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it's basically essentially saying it's easy to like basically love 100 different women, but it's more difficult, or a real man loves one woman 100 different times. That's the quote.
That was sweet. That's nice. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, you should respect the decision you make.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Real Deal Podcast with myself, Brandon Haley, and
Mr. Cleon Deal. Happy to be back. Every day's a good day.
Welcome.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest here joining us. Miss Vika is what she goes by.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us today. How are we doing?
Amazing. I had a wonderful day today.
Wonderful day today. You just came from a photo shoot, right?
Yes.
And how did that go for you?
Amazing. It was really, really hot. It was like a fashion statement. So we were walking wearing huge wings and beautiful flowers.
Oh.
Yes. So people wanted to take pictures with us and hang out with us, and they really wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah. So what was going? what's the theme of that?
All right. So the theme is that we were showing the designer's clothing. So and we were like modeling and taking good footage for content.
Gotcha.
Like pictures and videos and all that.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you had a fun time there. So you obviously are, just to kind of give everybody a little bit of an introduction, right? I want you to kind of give the people a little bit about you. I know obviously you have a marketing background. You're also from a very different place. So I want you to talk to us a little bit about what you do, where you're from, how you got here, and we'll just kind of roll it from there.
All right. So my name is Vika, and I'm a content creator and a marketer. Over a year ago, I graduated from Indiana University, but you're right. I'm
sorry, did you say Indiana?
Indiana University. I'm a Hoosier. Hoosier daddy.
Hoosier.
This is Indiana. Yeah, we do it big.
You guys have a fight song and everything.
Of course.
Okay, Indiana. Okay, gotcha.
All right. I graduated from Indiana University with media degree, creative advertising and marketing minor. And I'm also in the Army. I'm in the Army National Guard. I'm a supply sergeant. So, and you're right. I'm from the opposite side of the planet.
Yeah. So how does that work? Actually, hold the mic up just a little bit more.
Army.
No, I'm sorry. Like tilt it up. There we go.
Like
Right
this.
there. Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, I like the difference in sound.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're obviously from
Russia.
From Russia, and now you are in the U.S. National Guard.
Yes.
Okay.
National Guard.
So how does that happen?
Yeah.
Why?
Why did you make the move from Russia to the United States?
All right. So it was always my dream to visit the United States because I played Grand Theft Auto too much. And I really loved the layout and, the cars and cheat codes like Seaways and Funny Magnet. And
So Grand Theft Auto is the main reason you wanted to come here.
Yes, exactly. But also I was born in 90s and, Kazakhstan, Russia, like the whole post-Soviet space got flooded with American culture and America was glorified. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it was really nice to live in America, we all thought, and it is really nice. You know what? Better than in other places. Trust me. Trust me.
I agree. I have no issues living in America. I love America.
My whole family is from Kazakhstan, and then my parents decided to immigrate to Russia. So, but my ancestors are from Ukraine, so it's all intermixed because it used to be, Soviet Union, and then all the countries fell apart. So why did I decide to make the move?
Yes, why?
All right. So I was studying at the university in Russia, and that was really my big dream. And they offered, hey, do you want to come over to America and work? It's like work and travel USA program, right? J1 visa. So it was back in 2017. So I came over for the first time, and America blew my mind.
Okay.
America just blew my mind. I was eating Dairy Queen every day for lunch. I got so overweight. And I was really underweight before. And then I got so overweight because I was eating waffles in the morning. Those waffles that you buy, from the freezer. Nobody told me that I would gain so much weight. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Back in Russia, I was eating everything. Here, I was like, okay, I can eat everything too. Peanut butter, the crunchy peanut butter, Dairy Queen, burgers at night, and Malibu rum.
Burgers are still good. There's just a lot of things that aren't so good and are sold in stores. They're just marketed. They're marketed very well, and gets people to buy them. But yeah, that's why I think America might be the most obese country.
Exactly.
It's because all the bad food that we sell.
My parents did not recognize me at the airport. This is how big I was.
Oh.
Like by the end of 4 months in America, I was like probably 2 times bigger.
We're going to need a picture that we can show as a graphic.
I will send that to you. Yes.
Please.
There's such a big difference. I couldn't believe my eyes that I could gain weight this fast.
Yeah, it's easy, especially the older you get. It's really easy to gain weight. But how did what's the process look like coming from Russia to America? Like, what all did you have to do? Documents, sign?
Yeah, so I had to apply online first, and then I had to fly to Moscow because all the embassies were already closed. In Yekaterinburg, Moscow, and all those places. So I had to fly to Moscow, get the interview. So it's like an in-person interview. There's a huge line.
To see if
it's
you're
long
fit or something, or
to see if you're gonna stay in America or not. Yeah. So I dressed up like a little schoolgirl. Like I seemed like, I cannot pay for myself, and I most definitely depend on my parents. And I had to explain to them, to the officers, how many plans I had when I go back to Russia. I was like, I'm gonna start a language school.
Okay.
I have so many brothers and sisters, and blah blah blah. So they would believe me that I would not stay.
Gotcha.
So they are more likely to grant you coming if they believe you won't stay.
If they think you're going to come back.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's interesting.
There are a lot of questions
so
that
you
you
kind
need
of
to prepare
get
for.
like a temporary visa or a
Yes,
temporary. Okay.
it's like for 4 months.
And then it's easier once you're in it. Once you're in America, then it's easier to apply for regular citizenship. Because then, do you do that here, or you had to do that back in Russia? I have no idea how it works, to be honest.
I'll tell you. It is a difficult process. You got to fight for your life. But so it was my first time in America. And then I went back to Russia, worked as a teacher, was studying at the university at the same time. I was teaching English. And then I was so depressed. I was so depressed in Russia.
Cold, right?
It is really cold. There's was nothing to do. And America looks so bright. Cars are big. Parking lots are big. Houses are big.
Yeah.
People are big. So
people are huge.
Yeah, right. Burgers are big. So crazy. So I really wanted to come back. So and I was working really hard, made my money, and then applied for a visa again and came back in 2018. And that summer I stayed.
So you had to pay to get a visa again to come back?
Yes. And the plane tickets. Plane tickets are really expensive. It's like over $2,000 for plane tickets plus visa, about probably $300.
All that to come here?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
I don't know.
You guys.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would have to be like something really bad, but I don't know. Like, it would take a lot for me to like leave America to do that. Was it because of the men?
Why would
Did you like the men that much, or
no? Why would you? Why would you leave America? That's one.
I don't know. I never really have.
Everybody wants to come here, and
typically.
why would you want to leave?
Yeah,
typically, yeah. No, I never have. So I never had the opportunity to experience that feeling that you experience, and living in Florida, like 98% of my life. It's always sunny, so you're rarely ever depressed.
Yeah, Florida is pretty cool.
Yeah, if you're in the colder states during the wintertime, then it gets a little bad. But other than that, it ain't no complaints in Florida besides when it gets too hot. But too hot isn't really that much of an issue. So, explain the once you got here. I know it's mostly because of the men in America. Is what you like. No, not so.
Not quite.
Everything in America but the men. So explain to us that difference in dynamic of men in Russia versus America. That, from your own experience, of course.
From my own experience, men in America. So the relationships in America are kind of whack because females are so empowered, and I think feminism went a little bit too far. Mm-hmm. And then males are super lost. Mm-hmm. So males are supposed to be go-getters. Males are supposed to be bringing the mammoth home. Mm-hmm. But it got
by mammoth. You mean money?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to clarify, I got it based on context clues, but just to clarify.
But yeah, so this is where it went, and everybody has to go to work, right, and be a go-getter now, and then the roles got kind of mixed up. So in my opinion. Because in my culture, so my mom is a stay-at-home housewife. So she is a stay-at-home mom. And we have 5 kids in the family. I'm the oldest of 5. So my dad just goes to work and brings the money. And my mom never had to work. She wanted to, but my dad would always say, no, you're not going to go to work. I mean, she's allowed, but she has to take care of the kids, take care of the home. And it's better for my dad, like for his psychological state and everything.
Patriarchy is really prominent in Russia.
It's preferable.
Right.
It's preferable. If there is an opportunity, I mean, this is the right way. And then here it's like, no, I'm going to work. I'm a strong, independent woman.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Why would I listen to you? What do you have to bring to the table? I wear pants and I wear a hat.
So they don't need a man, and then the man is lost.
Yes.
Why do you think American men get so lost?
Because of strong females. Because of strong females, I think. And maybe the economy played some role in that as well, because surviving is probably more difficult nowadays. But 100%. Yeah, but at the same time, we are such consumers. Honestly, to have a family, you don't need that much money. And also, you're never ready for kids. So you just grow into the role. And you're never ready for a family. You just grow into that role. You just started. You feel like, okay, this is my partner, and we're going to fight together. It's not like you're fighting, me are fighting. No, this has to be one. It's a union. So if we decided to live together, we're going to fight together for the common role. But then in my opinion, so just for me, my ideal role is taking care of the house, like taking care of the inside of the family, right?
Yeah, the traditional
role. Yes. Yeah. And then the man is protecting from the outside, the outer world, and the woman is protecting the inner world.
Yeah, that's a typical traditional household role. But yeah, Americans have partly gotten away from it. I mean, I still see a lot of traditional households, but some people do. I feel like why they get away from it is because women being, the boss babe culture a little bit, they kind of get away from. And also, sorry, I gotta click off that. And also the generation under us is growing up with social media. And they're literally getting paid to do stupid pranks on and record it, which some of them are funny. I'm not gonna lie, like I do watch some of them. Or TikTok, like they're on TikTok as NPCs. So it's like they're not. I mean, what are you really learning at that point? You're not like really out in the workforce. You're more in the entertainment side of things. So then it's like, where are you going to find? How do you find balance in that traditional manlyhood when you have a lot more feminine traits than you do manly traits? So I'm sure you see it because I know you do a lot of with AI and in the marketing side. What do you see? What's your thoughts on that? Like guys in those kind of content
you mean that if it depends roles. On the job, on the job, what the male does?
Well, like a full on, like a guy is just full on content creator.
That is great. That is his job. That is his passion. A man just has to be passionate about something. And a woman, like for me, the ideal scenario, support a man in all his endeavors, whatever he has to do. But also, we should not be thinking, oh, a man has to do everything for a woman and the woman doesn't do anything in return. That doesn't work like that.
So is it 50-50 or is it 75-25? Because we were just having this conversation last night.
Financially,
we were just having this conversation.
It depends on the financial situation, of course. But 50-50 in like emotion-wise, right?
Right.
So a woman it is still work. A housewife, a mother, a wife in general, it's still work. It's like, okay, your man comes home. Just imagine, man comes home. What should the house look like? Clean?
Well, if you're my wife, it better be clean. No, I'm kidding.
Clean. The food should be cooked, right? So there should be a meal. And then everybody should be, kind of like supporting each other and helping. Right. And then if a man, like content creation, right? If the man is a content creator, okay, go and help your man with his business. What you doing? Talking to your housewives in there, or what are you doing? Your girlies? No, gotta go and help and support.
So what's been, because you've been in America, what, 7 years now? And you're 29? So what's been your experience? So why haven't you been able to find what you're looking for in this dating economy?
So I got married in America. This is how I got
You get married?
Yeah, I got divorced though. So I got.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
I mean, this is how I stayed.
We didn't know that. Oh,
understood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
I was actually about to go back. And then my ex-husband was like, "No, you're not going back. You're staying with me." And we were of the same age and everything. So, and this is how I essentially got my green card and joined the army and the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So
how long was that? How did that happen and how did that end?
So we met at work.
Which work?
In Wisconsin Dells.
We already say never date your coworkers.
So yeah, that's on the relationship with work towards the end of the episode, guys. If you want to go read that one.
I never say anything bad, about people that I was in a relationship with.
Right.
We never do either.
It's just a difference, like the cultural difference, probably. So I don't like teaching people like how to give flowers or carry bags or anything like that, and I just want to be in my feminine energy.
So guys should open the door always.
Not always, but sometimes would be nice.
Why not always?
Sometimes would be nice.
I'm not gonna make like a scene like, oh, you didn't open the door for me. What do you mean? Oh, you didn't buy me flowers today. Man, I'm gonna stop talking to you for a week.
But don't you feel like that is how you practice and engage in effective communication? I know you shouldn't have to baby somebody or be their mother, but if he's not showing you love how you want to receive love, shouldn't you be the one to engage in that conversation? Because guys, especially nowadays, like their emotional intelligence is very low. So they don't know how to say, hey, sit down, let's have a conversation about it. If it's something that's bugging you, shouldn't you be the one to explain it to them?
Yeah, I had to do like some explanation in like an organic way. Like, why don't you? Maybe that would be nice to do that and this.
Give them a little hint, but hey, go ahead.
Yes, but also quality time for me is really important. And if it's lacking, if it's just completely non-existent, like quality time or spending time at all together, I do not think that marriage will hold for a long time.
How long did this marriage last?
4 years.
Okay, quite some time. And so you've been here 7. So it was like right when you got here, I assume? Okay, and then 7 years, so it's been like 2-3 years since? You guys still on good terms?
We don't talk.
That's good. That's how they should be. No,
I mean, I read the contract. It says, do not disturb the peace, and I don't even mean to disturb nobody's peace.
Don't disturb the peace. That's very interesting.
There's no reason for me, Right. We don't have a kid or anything, so why continue communication?
So why would you say 4? Because 4 years is quite some time. And marriage, especially, I guess in America, is like not as serious.
The first 5 years of marriage are typically the toughest to get out of.
She almost got to 5.
So usually if you get out of that, it'll last for a little bit, but those first 5 are typically the toughest. So walk us through, just if you're as comfortable as you are with talking about it. So like you said, you were missing a few things where he wasn't doing quality time was an issue. He was also having issues just doing the little things for you, like little romantic gestures and things of that nature. So let me ask you this then. When you guys got into this relationship, how did you explain the things that you like? Because I know not every girl likes those things. It's always a nice gesture and it's appreciated, but not every girl is like, this is something that I need from you versus this is something that is cute sometimes. So how did you communicate that? Or did you, or how did that go?
I did. We had conversations. Of course, I would, explain what I like, what I need, what my culture looks like, what males behave in my culture, what my dad does.
What was his race?
White.
Okay, gotcha.
Like white American.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I explained everything. So, but it's not those issues were the reason for divorce.
Oh, those weren't the reasons.
No.
Oh, so what was the reason?
This is petty. Like this is solvable.
Okay.
This is not like, oh, you're not giving me flowers and not opening the door for me. Okay, we're done. No, It's not like that.
I'm thinking it was an accumulation of all of these things that's what led to it, but that wasn't it.
Accumulation plus more complicated things on top.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just decided that this is not gonna work, and instead of torturing each other, it's just better to end the relationship. So I think that was humane and honest. So that's what I decided to do.
So how was that so are you the one who ultimately made that decision?
Yes.
Okay. And how did he take that?
Bad.
How bad?
Really bad.
Like, are we talking like tears or?
I hear Russian women are pretty ruthless in that category.
No, I'm pretty straightforward. If I don't like something, I will let people know that I don't like something, or if there's an argument or there's some misunderstanding, I will legit put everything in very understandable and digestible format. Point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4.
So you think very logical.
I'm very logical.
Yeah,
very logical. And I never yell. Emotional. I never freak out, really. Pretty chill. So I'm very logical.
So very, very binary in your responses. Either it is or it isn't, ones and zeros. It's funny. This is something that actually I've gotten in trouble for, but mainly like in my job, because I'm very process oriented, system and process. So I'm more so like, if this is happening and this is a problem, this is what needs to be fixed. People have a tendency to want to get all the little sugar coated outside of it, all the fluff words and things of that nature. For me, I'm like, hey, this is wrong. You need to do it right. Whereas they're like, hey, I noticed that, this is kind of what happened in the future. If you would like, if we could do something more along the lines of something like this, and they wanted it explained and fed to them like that. That's not really how you operate.
Not necessarily. I try to be as mild as I can be. It depends on the issue.
Right.
It's like, hey, like that would be nice. Or hey,
that was a little more stern.
I think there is an issue, but let's solve it.
Right.
Let's sit down and just like talk it over.
What did the emotional process look like for you in overcoming a divorce? Because there's a lot of people. Well, first, how did you decide it and how did you end it? I think obviously your brain thinks a little bit different than a lot of American women's brain thinks, because they want to like stay in things even when the relationship has expired. But how did you overcome it emotionally? And how did you know it's time to cut the cord on that expired relationship?
I started feeling emptiness towards that person, and I couldn't lie to myself or to that person anymore. And I thought it was just fair to tell the person about it.
Do you regret it at all or no?
No.
Do you feel like you made the right decision?
Yeah.
So how long did you feel that emptiness? Was it like a month? You're like, all right, this isn't there. Or was it like a year and you're like, hey, it's still there. Nothing's getting better. It's time to cut the cord.
I would say like a year.
Okay.
I would say like a year, maybe even longer. But I tried my best to solve the issues, but I couldn't. There were issues with, my psychological state and his psychological state. It was not getting any better. Doesn't matter what I did or he did, it was just not working at that time.
Do you feel like a year was too long to wait? That you should have did it earlier?
I try not to make rush decisions in my life. And if I can fix something, I would rather fix it before dropping it, before burning bridges.
Right.
So I think this is why the divorce rate is so high, that people just don't want to fix. They don't want to work on something. They don't want to talk it over, figure it out, go on a cool vacation or whatever. Or if you don't have money in this economy and stock market is crashing, that's fine. Go have a barbecue by the ocean. It is fine. Just do something together, talk it over, and maybe find the way how to solve it instead of divorcing, because divorce is terrible. It's expensive. Emotionally, it's absolutely devastating. You're jumping into an abyss. For me, it was like jumping into an abyss because I'm from a different country.
And do you have any family here?
No,
so
I don't.
You're just you here,
just me
having to deal with that.
Exactly. So it's just me jumping into an abyss, and I don't have any money, really.
Right.
What am I gonna do? But I just kind of grabbed myself and just decided to go with this decision. And I was just thinking, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But that is gonna be a better decision than me staying in there and dragging it longer.
Did you have any friends at the time, like outside of your marriage?
Yeah, of course. So yeah.
Obviously, is that something that probably helped you get over it?
A lot. So my friends helped me a lot to get through that, and actually to move me to Florida. Yes, I moved to Florida right after graduation, and then if not my friends, that would be really, really rough and tough.
So wait, you were married in college? Oh my gosh. Okay.
What's wrong with that?
That's crazy. College is such a whirlwind of just a bunch of things. You're basically becoming an adult, trying to figure out the next steps in your life, while also trying to figure out how you want to operate. And then also you throw marriage and relationships into that and you went to a large school. So it just obviously the bigger the school, the more things that are going on at all times.
You could have got the full American experience.
But what do you mean by American experience? Oh, yeah, I see those memes all the time. Like, girl is going to college and there's a bunch of hot dogs falling on her. No.
Not what I was saying.
No, hold on.
Yeah. You know, party and have fun.
No, I think the high body count is a no-go.
Oh, I agree.
Because the larger the body count is, the shallower you are. The more wounds you have in your heart.
Well, listen to that, ladies.
And it's not worth it. Nah, I don't know. Buy a vibrator. Do something with it. Like, why? Why you need it?
But no, that makes sense because the dynamic of Russian culture is more like the patriarchy dynamic, and when America was that way back in the 80s, that's when they were getting married anyways, like 20, 19, maybe even younger.
Yeah, I guess that is
We're true. Just in a very different
very different
culture right now in America. It's very, very different than what we're accustomed to 30 years. Okay, 40 years ago, Jesus Christ.
The thing is, people still do it, right? People still marry their high school sweethearts, right? That still happens. I think
my sister did that, and then she got divorced.
Well, I think there's a lot of other roles that do play into it. Number one, I think that social media, as great as it is, it just provides you access to too many people, and it creates too many opportunities for people to cheat. So the problem is that where there's opportunity, it will be taken advantage of. So when you have all of these, like usually back in the day, it was you have this girl and you have a landline on the phone. You can't have no girl calling you a landline. You know what I'm saying? You have to. So it makes that sneaking around thing a little bit more difficult. And you also don't see all these other people. Like when I was in high school, obviously you get Instagrams of people at 3, 4, 5 different schools. So now you have options. Back then, it was like you have what's right in front of you. I have no idea what's going on outside of a 5-mile radius of here. So it became a lot easier to focus on the person that was in front of you. Now, there's a lot of different factors. There's a lot of different people, and especially on guys. And guys feel like they can have any girl in the world. So if they see any girl in the world that they think is attractive, they think they got a chance. It makes it a little bit harder to settle down. Also, obviously, in this economy, getting married young without an established career, because back in the day, you get to go to school and get a job that's in your field, and then you work at it for 30 years, get a gold watch, and you retire in the union and all that other fun stuff. Now you are lucky if you go and you get a bachelor's degree and you make $15 an hour. Like you said, you're never really ready for a family, or you grow into that role. But obviously, it's very difficult to put in your mind that it's time to start that on $16 an hour when you're coming out of that.
Well, sucks to suck. Tough shit. I think it's better to work in a team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better to work in a team than like two people just working separately. Oh my God, I'm struggling. Like struggling their own. I think it's better to struggle a little bit together and then grow into something bigger.
Yeah.
Like build.
If you find the right person.
If you find the right person. If
it's a big
if. But and, also about all the bunch of fish in the ocean. Yeah. I think we got to respect our choice.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
So you see, there are so many options out there.
Yeah. Once you make that choice. 100%.
Gotta respect your choice.
I agree. 100%.
Just respect yourself. Respect your choice. If you don't respect your choice, you don't respect yourself.
Yeah, because one of the best quotes out there is, gosh, I never remember the quote. I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it's basically essentially saying it's easy to basically love 100 different women, but it's more difficult, or a real man loves one woman 100 different times, and that's the quote.
Oh,
how sweet. That's nice. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, you should respect the decision you make. I think you wanted me to. Yeah. Sorry, my bad, man. Yeah. I think the problem is the stage before making that decision. I think that what happens is that a lot of people, especially if it's going to be on the man to make that decision, they don't get to the point of actually making the decision of, this is the person that I'm going to be with. They're like, I want to see what it's like here, but I also want to see what it's like over there. I also want to see what it's like over there. So you rolled your eyes. That seemed personal a little bit.
So how is dating right now? That's been 2 years. How's it going right now?
Good.
Tampa men are good?
Good.
You love the Tampa guys?
Yes.
All right, Tampa guys, you guys are stepping it up.
Yeah, Tampa guys. We don't usually hear good things about the men here and the dating.
Well, I got Tampa Reverse Brand on my hat. This is an ad. Reverse Brand. Send me some free gear. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. Sponsor us. Stop playing.
Thank you.
Amazing. But I think there's also a lot of going out culture.
Yeah.
Like going out, bars and everything. Oh, I just ask people around, where do you meet people? At bars. And then I don't really go out a lot. When I saw you guys, it was like my second time in Ybor, and I don't think I went there but yesterday for a video shoot. I don't even go out. So whenever I go out, I see people who are just looking for fast pleasures.
Dopamine, that lust.
Fast pleasures.
That lust cycle.
And I just found out something about myself recently, that I don't go out because I don't have the void in me. I don't have the void. I don't have a whole emptiness. I don't have none of that. I'm really busy, really busy. Yeah, I would rather read a book, or I would rather watch an interesting podcast, or walk around at the beach. I've been at the beach only maybe 4 times ever since I moved here. It's been 1.5 years.
I've probably been to the beach about 4 times as well.
I'm really busy. Really busy. And why would I go and party and just get objectified? Or I'm not going to make any female friends in there either. Because
typically not any genuine connections.
No genuine connections. Yes. Yeah. So the best people that I meet are usually at entrepreneur meetings, like entrepreneur social club, or somewhere, maybe like a show or a festival, something like that, or a market. somewhere where people are more goal oriented or growth oriented, or people who are into something that I'm into. Yes. So I think we should surround ourselves with really like people who want to grow as well. So we grow. So, and help everybody in the community grow, provide that help, provide that support. And if your friends grow, and you're going to grow as well.
Right.
So you got to help each other.
I agree. I feel like being in groups of people who are all stagnant, nobody has any ambition or anything like that, is a terrible place to be. It doesn't inspire anything for somebody to have a bright future, really. Like we were talking about really on our last episode, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change the room. If you're the most successful person in the room, you need to change the room, which is why these entrepreneurial meetups, these social things are great places to be at, because as well as you're doing in your area, you get to meet a few people who are doing a little bit better than you. And, you get to learn a few things and figure out how you can kind of get to that next level as well. So I'm a huge advocate of that, of just changing your settings and changing your mindset for you to get to that next place.
Yeah, that's the best place to meet people. Because
you met some girls out there? Or?
No. I mean, yeah, but not any relationships. Where I'm staying to my ground, staying celibate. But the ones I met in the club, yeah, those usually never end too well. But the problem with the culture, especially in the United States, I'm not sure how it is in like Russia or Europe or any other countries. But everybody, the Americans, or even the ones that work really, really hard, right? Then you're talking about you don't have any voids to fill. But that's like what the American way. I don't know how we're brought up or taught that. I guess it's just something that guys really don't heal from it. So then they just teach their next generation. They teach their kids. So they work 60 hours a week, and then their weekend is their reward to themselves to go out, party, have these superficial meetups with women, things of that nature. And then it's just a continuous cycle. And I posted something from Hormozy on my story the other day, is basically saying most people live the same 6 months over and over again 100 times, and then they die. So it's just like basically that's their life. They work. They go out and they party. They enjoy it. They live that. They have that superficial gift to themselves of like going out, drinking, hooking up with a chick, whatever it may be, and then they repeat the cycle. Maybe 2 years down the road or a year down the road, they get a little raise, they get a promotion. 5 years down the road or whatever it may be, but they continuously live it. Then they get married. They're still doing the same thing, except now they're married, but they're still work, drink. And now you're teaching your offsprings that, you're teaching your kids that. They're going to react based on what they see you do. And a lot of people really don't understand that. It's almost selfish, because once you have kids in the picture, then it's like, all right, if you don't get your act together, they're seeing exactly what you're doing. They're going to do what you do in one way or another.
Yeah.
So
exactly,
American culture.
Exactly. But also going out, hooking up is a low quality fuel for you, for your development. Very low quality fuel. Also, after the party, it's probably like Saturday night, Friday night, the next day, you're dead.
Yeah.
It's another day wasted in your life.
What people don't understand, and I used to do that all the time. And literally, and I was dead. I was dead on Monday. It took me two days to get over my hangover.
Yeah, the older you get, the longer that recovery is.
It was like 2 days. But what people don't understand is it's just a quick dopamine hit. And I haven't drank in 2 years, 5 months, not because of my own choice at the beginning, but like I got arrested and then stopped drinking because of that. It's like, all right, I want to be able to control my situation and surrounding at all time. And in social settings, like that first 6 months to a year was real difficult, but now it's like really easy to go into a social setting and not have like social anxiety, quote unquote, but you can still be out, hang out with your boys, hang out with your girls, whatever it may be, and not get drunk. You can do that.
Yeah,
you can. Or you could also,
but it's a big
go to different events.
Yeah. So what do you like to do with your friends out here?
With my friends out here? Ooh, shooting videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, doing photo shoots. or watch a movie probably. Go to
Big
entrepreneur
movie.
social
Yeah.
club. Go out to the nature, maybe travel somewhere, maybe Disney, Orlando.
Where do you go for nature around Tampa? There's some decent parks around here.
I just walk around the park.
Which one? There's
Vinoy
Vinoy
in St. Pete.
Oh yeah, Vinoy and St. Pete. There's there's a good nice one near the stadium too, Al Lopez Park. It has like a little nature trail too. It's not like super crazy, but it's a good switch up if you wanted to try that one out too.
So I want to ask about your marketing side. So how exactly did you get into into that?
Into that,
Your social media marketing, all your videos and stuff like that.
Yeah, since we're switching to social media too. Yeah, how did you come up with your Instagram name? Because you're a Russian female, so I want to know your thought process on that.
Exactly. So as I told you about Grand Theft Auto, I really loved playing Grand Theft Auto, and I spent many hours on that game. And I was really into America, and I had Uncle Sam on my wall. I want you for the U.S. Army. I was like, 13, 14 maybe, and I printed that, and my mom said, "Take this devil off your wall."
Oh my god.
We don't like Uncle Sam here.
But the thing is that how would you know?
Yeah,
so you know
right.
what are the odds? Now I'm in the army. So it's just funny, right? And I had American flag above my bed. I was all about it. So that's why Captain America kind of came up. And I think it was back in like 2014 when I got this name.
And when did that movie come out? The first Avengers. Did you watch that one? I'm assuming, because it has all that in there too, like the "We want you for the U.S. Army" and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But I was not a fan of Captain America. I was a fan of Iron Man actually. And I had an Iron Man mask. Amazing. So I had a mask, like a plastic mask that would with lights and everything, and then a little figure, and I would just be looking at that Iron Man, and that was such a great motivation for me.
Did you like Iron Man because he was rich or because he was a playboy?
No, because everybody else has a superpower.
Right.
And then Iron Man's superpower is his brain, his skill, his really talent. Of course, he was born rich, but the thing is that what he did with his money,
right?
That is important.
Iron Man's definitely my favorite. Now they're going to turn RDJ into a villain.
Yeah, Dr. Doom.
Here in the next year, so
that'll be interesting.
Very interesting. I'm gonna have to get a Doom tattoo on this leg.
Jesus,
find a spot.
Nice.
We'll go to the next one.
So you and Margaret. So how did you get into this?
I've been in this industry for a long time because in Russia I was a weather anchor on a local TV.
I'm sorry. So wait, how old were you when you left Russia again?
22.
22. Okay, so you were a weather anchor. How old were you when you started that?
Weather anchor, I started when I was like 20.
20. Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. So I won Miss Siberian Beauty 2016.
Oh, nice. Miss Siberian Beauty. That's interesting. Okay.
And then I got an offer of working on TV. And then I sang in musicals. And
you can sing too.
Yes. Wow. And then I participated in different shows, worked on stage, and also I modeled. I had billboards with me in my hometown. Worked with different brands. I had magazine covers and magazine layouts.
Over there.
Everybody knew who I was. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people, right, for sure. And I would be on the TV and a lot of good stuff. And when I came to America, I had to cross everything out. I just had to rip those pages of my life, start over. So I've been in the industry in this kind of realm for a long time. And now when I graduated from Indiana University, and at the Indiana University, I was already doing that, and I wanted to continue that. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love doing. I love to tell the story, and if a business cannot tell about what they're doing and what their unique selling proposition is, I'm here to do that. And I'm really passionate about it. And one of my hobbies is helping local businesses. If they don't know what to do, some people really do not know.
Yeah. I mean,
about how to set
up.
Social media is tough, man.
We didn't know to set up this podcast. It took us a little while.
Yes. Or like how to film something, how to show something so it looks good or appetizing, or how to sell their stuff, how to set up a website, maybe something like that. Just something simple. So I'm trying not to like overload myself with stuff,
Mhm.
but I'm always really like willing to help. So I always offer, hey, do you want me to come over and help you out?
Yes, we
Or
do.
I can I can give you advice, or
Yeah.
let's do a consultation or something like that.
Mhm.
It comes back to my philosophy
Mhm.
that help people around you
Mhm.
succeed, and you
Yeah.
will succeed as well.
Yeah.
This is when I started growing,
Mhm.
when I realized this simple philosophy
Mhm.
of supporting people around me.
Right.
So if I'm not supportive, I'm just like one fighter, a soldier in the field,
Mhm.
it's not going to work out. It's like army. So I'm a
Mhm.
sergeant
Mhm.
and I have several soldiers under me, right?
Right.
I could figure something out, but I cannot figure everything out.
Right.
I need knowledge of other people, and as a team, we're stronger.
Mhm.
If you're alone, you're weak.
Right.
Yep. Which
So-
is another good quote. Remember, we used to hear it all the time: is if you want to go fast, go alone.
Mm.
If you want to go far, go together.
Exactly.
So teamwork makes the dream work, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we are teaming up now in St. Pete. There's
Mhm.
something special about St. Pete, actually. It was not like that in Wisconsin or
There's a lot of
Indiana.
white people.
Wisconsin and Indiana was, do you think there were not
Like there
enough
weren't
of
a lot of white people in Indiana. What
yeah,
are we talking
white
about
people
right now?
shortage in Wisconsin.
Yeah, right. They're really running
In
out
Indiana.
over there.
St. Pete has like a very hippie kind of vibe.
But this is also the community. This is a community.
Yeah.
You go and everybody wants to collab. Everyone wants to do something.
Correct.
Everybody is active. And we're all collabing and doing
Mhm.
interesting things and coming up with ideas, pitching each other ideas and discussing them and growing. I love this. And when the hurricane happened and my house got messed up.
Oh, you live in St. Pete right now?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, St. Pete
I got flooded. The first hurricane. My house got destroyed. My car got destroyed.
Mhm.
So in my technology, some cameras, some lighting
Mm.
got flooded with
Mhm.
salt water and sewer water. Who was the first group that came over for the rescue?
Who was it?
Entrepreneur Social Club.
Mm.
They all
That
came to help
is
out?
held every Thursday, 6 p.m. at NOAA 535. Those people that I met there.
In St. Pete?
Yes, and they all helped out with my
Wow.
house, with my car, with everything. They even organized a whole group of helping people for free
Mhm.
that suffered from hurricane.
Yeah.
Wow,
that
shout
I
out
was
to St.
crying.
Pete, man. Tampa would never.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So grateful. Beyond recognition.
Mm-hmm. So that obviously makes you working a little bit easier because people there are willing to collaborate with you pretty much all the time. And so for you, when you're going out to find businesses, it's like a grassroots sort of thing. You're just going out. Are you looking at them up on social media? Are you just running around town, walking into businesses and say, hey, you guys don't look like you have an Instagram set up. Let me help you out with that. How does that usually go?
Works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them. I can see some business, meet like business owner at one of the events where I go to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, this is what I offer. Do you need that? You probably do. So how about we collaborate on that?
Yeah.
Do you want to work together? Or word of mouth.
Right.
So let's say I'm a part of entrepreneur club, right?
Mm-hmm.
This entrepreneur group. And then somebody else puts a good word
Right.
for me,
Mm-hmm.
and then another one, and then another one, and people come to me. Oh, we need a logo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, call Vika.
Mhm.
Or oh, we need like social media videos
Mm-hmm.
to launch an ad.
Right.
Or AI
Vika.
video.
Or AI video or whatever that is.
Make some really interesting AI videos.
Yeah. So do you ever work with like musicians or?
This is actually my next step. I want to find more musicians to work
Here's a
with.
musician right here.
Amazing. Let's collaborate.
Let's collaborate.
Let's collaborate.
The Real Deal podcast, putting people together.
Yeah, love that.
Amazing. Of course. I'm down.
That's great.
And
Yeah.
also watch a movie, Yes Man. Have you watched it?
Love that movie.
I love that
I
movie.
love that movie.
Changed my life.
Yes, man.
Yes, man.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Oh, the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah.
I love that. But you know what? What changed my life exactly in 2014? I watched a music video by Avicii, The Nights.
Oh yeah, I love Beachy.
Exactly. So I was watching that music video every single day for a year or maybe even more. Every single day. I don't know. I just wanted to live that life. My life looked different. Yes, I was busy. I was a weather anchor. I was modeling. I was a teacher. I was everything, right? All at once. But then I just wanted to live that bright life, how he's like crashing the car, how he's surfing. I really want to learn how to surf. How he is just living his life to the fullest and traveling. I really wanted to travel. And from where I'm from, it was almost impossible. I lived in a little room at the dormitory. And at some point, we didn't have a fridge, and we had to hang a fish outside of the window because it was cold enough outside. So we
it's
used
like your freezer or something.
Yes, we used it as a freezer.
That's
and we had
crazy.
cockroaches on the floor. And it was absolutely terrible to live there, cold and dirty, and 3 people in a little room. Like the room was like this room, as big as this room. So it was impossible. So, and I really wanted to change my life.
That sounds like New York.
And I was actually probably, but outside you don't see no skyscrapers.
Yeah,
you just don't.
Not even anything nice to look at.
No, nothing to look at. Honestly speaking,
Russia sucks.
And then you know what? What's in that music video? There's sample gates from Indiana University. But I did not notice at first. I didn't even know that Indiana University even existed at that time. So I was just like drinking wine casually at home in Indiana University at my apartment after class. And I was like, okay, I'm going to open this Pandora's box, okay? So of my motivational videos. I guess I was lacking motivation. So I was watching that music video and I saw sample gates from Indiana University in that video. And I was like, no way.
Like this whole time you basically been looking at your future, you didn't even know it.
Exactly. How could I imagine my life changing like this? Watching that music video, sitting in that little room with cockroaches, how could I imagine my life changing this much? I couldn't. But you know what? Just believe in yourself. This what helped me. And really hard work and being busy all the time.
Right.
And just jumping into an abyss. Just jump in it. Get out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone, no bueno. Just get out there. Show up and see what happens.
Yeah, I imagine the mental portion of that, right? Because being in, we talk about like seasonal depression here in America, but obviously over there, when it's like that all the time, I imagine it's tough to kind of stay in a mindset that's gonna keep you going. Really. So how did you keep yourself going? What was your motivation?
I was dissatisfied with my surroundings.
You just did. I just hate it here, so I need to get out. That was it.
I really wanted to help my family.
Yeah.
That's my dream. I was like, I want to grow big. I want to grow successful and make my sister's life and brother's life easier, or buy a little house for my parents, or whatever they want, whatever they need, however I can help them. So that was my goal. I wanted, because I'm the older sister, so I just really wanted to be the one that they can rely on.
How many siblings do you have?
So I have 4. So I have 2 sisters and 2 brothers, and I'm the oldest.
And you're the oldest.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
So we have 2 adopted kids, 2 boys.
Wow. That was already mentioned, but Cleon wasn't listening apparently.
What?
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Was it? Did you say that? I think
I remember everything.
Everything's a big word.
Everything that doesn't matter usually. Yeah. Let me rephrase. All the little minute details that everyone else forgets. I remember those ones. Everything else, don't ask. I don't know.
So 4 siblings younger than you. So what's the age gap between you and the ones that's closest to you?
Ooh, my parents decided to start having kids when I was 12. I lived like a princess.
When you were 12? Or
when I was 12. I was 12, and then they got that decision.
So you were an only child for 12 years.
And
yes.
then they're like, let's go again.
And I had my own room. And then my parents, exactly. And then my parents come up to me and ask me, do you want a brother or sister? I was just playing with my dolls, in my zone. And I said, no.
And then they gave you 4.
Exactly. Listen. So they came back to me again in a couple of years. And then they asked me, oh, Victoria, do you want a brother or sister? And I said, no. And then they said, it's too late.
What kind of sick game is this?
I like it.
And then exactly, I was graduating from high school.
Yeah.
And they came up with this crazy idea of adopting a child. And me already sitting with little kids on the bed, like putting them to sleep and feeding them and cleaning every day. I'm like, no way. I don't want a brother. I don't want a sister. I don't want nobody. I think we are good.
Right.
I don't even have my own room. We're good.
But at least that probably helped you, since you essentially had to raise all your siblings. Probably helped you not want to have kids yet.
I want kids.
But not right now. It's good that you didn't. It probably prevented you from having them at an early age, at a young age. And that's typically what happens.
I think I'll be all right with a kid.
That happened in mine. I was like, I don't know if we really want kids, because we grew up. My mom had 5 of us, all like when she was like in her early 20s. So I was like, yeah, we don't want to do that. So none of us, only my youngest brother, because I guess he didn't really grow up with how we grew up, is the one that is made my mom a grandma. Everybody else, no kids yet.
Yeah, it's funny because when you talk about the age gap thing. So for me, I have 3 older brothers and I have a twin sister. And then basically it was just us until I want to say my sophomore year in high school. And then basically my brother comes to me after a track practice, mind you. He's coming to pick me up and he says, puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, by the way, mom's expecting. And I said, expecting what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? It tells me at 15, I think I was like 15, that our parents are having another child after all of us. And it was insane. It was quite a shock when they told my oldest brother he was driving. He had to pull over because my parents were like in their 40s at the time. So huge shock. But yeah, that's funny. But you were the only child, so that was a little bit different from you. I grew up in a full house, and I was like, "There's no way we could want any more people here." And it turns out, I guess that wasn't the case.
Yes, and then they decided to adopt 2 more.
It's like,
and I just don't know. At some point, they had 3 cats, a dog, 4 kids in the house. No wonder I fled and ran away. And now I live on the opposite side of the planet.
You just needed some peace and quiet.
Yes, peace and quiet. But I'm okay. So I don't think it prevented me from having kids. I think it just taught me how to be a mother, how to bring up children, and what it takes. So I don't have false expectations about pregnancy. Right. Or having babies, kids, whatever. I don't have that like pink picture painted in front of me. I know what it is.
Yeah, and that's an interesting topic. I don't know how deep we'll go into that, but basically, a lot of people like the idea of having kids because they like to have a little cute little dress up doll, and but raising kids is atrocious. We had to babysit a bunch of people's kids when I was growing up. Just like they would just be coming over and all this. I'm like, I hate this. I don't know why anybody would want to do this early. Like one day, you know what I'm saying? It makes a lot of sense. But people have this idea that sometimes they should just do it because they feel like it's time to do it, or they want to do it because it looks really cute. And I've always wanted one. And I'm like, I don't think you're understanding what has to go into that.
But there's also a thing, tolerating other people's kids is terrible. Tolerating your own is a completely different story.
That's fair.
This is what everybody says.
Yeah, that's what they say. I don't.
Yeah, other people's kids. I'm like, could you please be quiet? Even though I'm a teacher, but I'm still, you gotta have a lot of patience. But then kids teach you a lot.
Yeah.
Kids teach you a lot about yourself. Mm-hmm. They teach you how to be patient. Maybe some depths of your mindset, your understanding of life, like some philosophy. It's actually remarkable.
Yeah, they will ask very direct questions. That is for sure.
Certainly make you think a little bit. What do you think what's a valuable lesson you've learned from a kid?
From a kid?
Yeah.
That anything is possible. Anything is possible. It's just in your head. Kids you just gotta change your mentality. Just gotta change your mindset, and then you can achieve it. You can make it. You can do it.
Yeah, they have such a vibrant imagination.
100%. You know, we also forgot once again. We forgot the deal of the day.
Oh.
Every week we were consistent for 2 weeks in a row.
We were.
I think we recorded those back to back. Yeah, I think that's why we forgot. But yeah, that's it. I got one more question, unless you got anything else before we wrap things up over here.
You go ahead.
My question is, since you've been in America for 7 years now, why do you think most relationships fail in America?
Because people do not want to work on the relationship. Feminism is strong, and people do not want to see each other. Like, like, I see you, I understand you,
Mm-hmm.
and just sit down and actually talk. People start screeching, people are egoistic, people are consumers. This consumerism is not helping the development of relationships at all.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the abundance of choices, but also comes down to this consumerism. Consumerism in relationships is a thing as well.
You think people are just too used to getting what they want all of the time?
Exactly. But also they just shallowness in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you have a deep relationship and deep understanding of a different person, intimate relationship, like anything, just relationship in general, just gives you a different kind of high.
So how do you get a deeper relationship?
Through constant work, communication, common
And-
activities.
And my favorite one of all is not having sex.
Why? I think sex is really important.
Well, that's the problem. You create a physical relationship before you create the emotional relationship.
I actually agree with that. There's a point
and
with
that's
that.
Where you get the superficial and the not as deep of a connection.
There's a point in here.
You got to hold off.
But for instance, I'm kind of person that doesn't want to have a sexual relationship if the mental, like, emotional relationship.
Put your chastity belt on and tell them no for 6 months.
Sort of. I just need to find out, like, who the person is, and
right.
If I don't feel that,
guys are really good. We're really good at hiding who we are exactly to get what we want.
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem.
So it is a problem, and we're not going to tell you that. So your defense is to put your chastity belt on for 6 months and not have sex with them.
Yes.
And build an emotional connection enough to where you're like, okay, yeah, I might be able to marry this person, or I can see myself having kids with this person. And then you can open up that realm, which I still, you should wait till marriage. That's what I'm going to tell you. Because nowadays,
I think sex without emotional connection is just friction.
Yeah.
So why would I even do that? Why would I do that? It's waste of time.
Yeah. Well, but that's what the culture calls for American men. That's what they like. They like to just lust and get their fix and then go on about their day. That's just how it works.
That is terrible.
I'm just letting you guys know the mind of a guy.
They're just keeping men away from so much more pleasure.
Well,
like the wider picture.
Think there's the problem. That's the problem.
That is the problem.
Yeah. So you got to hold on and not do it.
Exactly.
Build the emotional connection and then you have that conversation, but don't do it because then once you do it and let's say it's good, like a person who knows exactly what they're doing and it's not just friction and they can create an emotional connection during the sex, then it's like, oh wow, it was such great sex. Now it starts to cloud your judgment of like, oh yeah, I might want to be with this person. Oh, like, okay, now I can see me having kids with this person because they're so good at this, or because we bonded, we had that soul tie during sex. And then that's where people start to cloud their judgment and not think as logically as you like to think logically.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is the biggest problem.
Yeah, my friend actually just got married and they didn't have an intimate relationship before marriage.
Wow.
And I saw how sincere they were at the wedding.
Because you have
those sincere emotions and how clean and like pure everything was. But the thing is that they did have boyfriends and girlfriends before this decision.
Yeah.
They did. But then at some point they were like, oh, we're going nowhere. We're going nowhere. So they just decided to change everything, become religious.
Because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah, so they turned away from that, from all those like instantaneous pleasures that are corrupting your soul.
People, huh?
What are you have any like first date questions that you use to get to know people?
I just want to know what the person is passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
Like what drives them forward.
Because you said a man has to be passionate about something.
Passionate about something, yes, most definitely. Because if there is nothing, that person is going to be texting me and calling me all day long, doing nothing.
Go find something else to do.
Yes. And I'm like really active. I'm like always out and about doing something, like collabing, finding people, talking to people, like finding something interesting, developing. And the person is just calling me and texting me all day. That's no bueno. So if we are developing, so I'm going to develop and I'm going to go really, really far.
Right.
And that person is going to stop at this level. So that is the very important question.
Yeah, got to constantly be growing. That's for sure.
And of course, do you have a job?
Fair. That's a fair question. Are you
Do you
employed?
have a job?
What if they don't?
Sucks. Man.
I guess you're paying for that date. Let me take you out on a date. I don't have a job. I guess you got to pay for it.
I think I'm going to be late for my bus.
Gotta get out of there.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but also I think when men say, "Oh, women are gold diggers," I think if a woman is a little bit of a gold digger, it's good because she says, "Hey, I want this. You know, this makes me happy, and if you get it, I'm gonna be the happiest." And then he starts working more, earning more. His earning potential is like rising. It's not because I want this bag, or I can go and make my own money for the bag, but I want the man to grow. So I'll say, "Hey, I want this." And then the man goes and gets it. But along the way, his income is growing too. So this is the inspiration. And then I'm like walking all happy. And then he's happy because I'm happy. And then everybody's happy. The man is growing and I'm happy. So that's the logic behind it. It's the math.
So you think basically, so as the woman, you should be able to kind of turn that switch a little bit in his mind to just push him just a little bit. Like you said, just a little, like you want certain things and you want him to be able to go and do those things for you. And that's going to ultimately push him to want to do more and be just a little bit better to get you those things that just makes you a little bit happier. And then just continuing that cycle on a daily basis.
Inspiring the man, sparking something in him, making him better, motivate him. Not like, hey, get me this. I want this right now. Oh, you didn't give me that? Okay, bye-bye.
Right.
But you can't be his mother. You can't mother him.
Not like a mother. No, not mother. Of course, he has to have this drive.
Right.
If he doesn't want you, he doesn't need you. He's not gonna do anything. None of your like motivational speeches are gonna work on him because he doesn't see value in you.
Right.
Nothing is gonna work. But if he does, and if he values this relationship, he will get up and he will go and become better. And your goal, like my goal as a woman, of developing as well, of bringing color into his life as well. So it's a team. It's a teamwork. It's never just one person just struggling and working really, really hard, and the other person is just painting her nails. No, it's not about that, as I said earlier. So it's a teamwork, dream work.
100%.
Amazing.
Any final thoughts? I know you always give us a deal today at the end, or a good question of reflection.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot. Well, really, what's next for you? So number one? I'm sorry, we talked about you are dating somebody right now, and that's going well. So great on that. What's next for you? What's the thing that you're pushing for right now in your life?
More clients, obviously, growing my team, occupying my team all the time with projects and everything. And I want to climb Mount Fuji before I turn 30.
Oh, you got.
When's your birthday?
You got less than a year.
In November.
Shoot.
You better get hiking, start rucking.
I'm all right with that.
Okay, you better get ready for that.
She's Russian. I assume.
Yeah, I guess. This is not technically in your blood.
Yes, I'll be all right. I'll be okay.
Mount Fuji? Why? Why Mount Fuji?
Because when I was in Japan, I lived there for half a year.
Jesus, you've been everywhere.
And I saw Mount Fuji from south and north. And I couldn't climb Mount Fuji because it was too cold and was too dangerous to do it at that time. And I was not there during the summertime. I was on a study abroad program. It was not a good time to do it. But now I want to go during the summertime and actually climb it. I just couldn't do it last time. So this is one of the milestones that I want to hit, and before I turn 30. So
Wow.
Hope you guys follow along with that journey. I know I will. You guys can follow her on Instagram. Instagram name is Captain_America, just like the tattoo I have on my leg. So
you should show him the leg tattoo.
Yeah, we're not showing that on sorry guys, you guys you can see the arms, but I can't show the leg. Well, actually, that's typical. But other than that, any final questions, any final words that you have? We appreciate you being here today. Any words of wisdom to leave with the people listening or tuning in?
thank you so much for having me today, and I really enjoyed this conversation, and I think we brought up a lot of insights. But what I want to say, a little message for all the females out there, just do not be scared to jump into the unknown. Try different things and broaden your horizons, and you just never know if you're gonna succeed or not. So I think it's better to try and fail, and maybe try again and fail again, but then succeed, than never try and regret not trying it.
Hell forward, guys. So appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys next week. Love you guys. Thanks for listening.